Lincoln 30 to dispatch. Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza. Everything here's okay. Over. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, God, everything is okay! Welcome to the party, pal!
I'm not ready to make night.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Let's get into it. Guys, I would have scheduled this for later because I know Style Audit 1A has a live coming up here very shortly. So, what am I doing? Guys, I keep wearing the wrong glasses everywhere. And it's not helpful because, first of all, I can't see as well here. These are my computer glasses. These are my more distance glasses. Now I can see you guys. Hello. Hello, hello. Okay. So just to give everybody a minute or so to get in here, I just want to lay the groundwork for what I want to accomplish today with this live. Okay. Some of you may be like, what are you even, girl, what you talking about, Willis? And some of you might have very big feelings, and all of that is okay. All right. So here's the ground rules. Okay. For today, what I want to do is make a statement. Okay. So please hold all questions, comments, violent reactions until after I'm done making the statement, which I promise will not be 25 hours because I have an absolute hard stop. I have to go to the airport. So it's like I have to leave at a certain time to be on time at the airport. So forgive me here because I am setting an alarm. And yes, so I need to set an alarm for that. And where's my alarms? Where are the alarms? Damn, there it is. I should have done this before, but I was helping my kiddo get flowers for their novio. So there you go. And I just got back from the store with them. Okay. What the hell-iance? Exactly. What's up, Dylan? Okay. No, I'm picking someone up. I'm picking someone up at the aeroporto. I'm picking my wife up. She was out of town visiting our daughter at college. Very fancy. Okay. So here's my statement. This is not, I have no notes as usual. Also, I think the most controversial thing that's going to happen in this live is that I'm having a Coca-Cola. And it's noon and I'm an adult and I can if I want. And it's not even Irished up. So calm down. Okay. So last night on Friday, Aaron made a very emphatic statement that, he was behind in releasing hate streams about me with propaganda, innuendo, slander, etc. Because so many people had bought memberships just to watch him shit on me that, now he is neglecting this new crowd of people. And he's got to, he's going to get that live stream out. Either, he said Friday, either later that day or tomorrow, which was obviously yesterday. And, we did our members only stream, which was fantastic. I'm going to do another one in a couple weeks that is going to be a real Q&A. I didn't really do a Q&A yesterday. I basically just did an episode that's members only that I'll be releasing on Tuesday morning, at midnight on Tuesday. Okay. And so part of yesterday, and this is I'm willing to admit this out loud, guys, and this is part of what happened last night, is that I spent way too much time yesterday bracing myself, mentally, psychologically, physically, for this video, right? For this garbage that was coming. And it was not a good feeling for me to do that, right? And that's on me. That's not on anybody else. It's not on, I did that, right? And last night I was going to get some dinner for me and my kiddo to like, we just had a really good time, just me and them. And like, I was like, hey, let's have special dinner tonight. So, we each got something that we wanted. And I was perusing the internet before that. And I saw that Sticker Chick was live. And I was like, what are they talking about? Because I do that a lot. I kind of just go see what other people are talking about just to see. And if it's like, oh, it's just more of that, like, okay, thank you, next, swipe, But it was like right at a moment where Sticker Chick was saying that she's, that something about Scott basically trying to craft this narrative that he has like excommunicated all these people, that he kicked out all these people from his chat. And, and Sticker in the chat were like, no, we left you because you're a fucking con man. Right. And so I wanted to ask, this is like right when I was having dinner, and I wanted to ask at that time, like, hey, Mina and I are not friends, but I was genuinely like, what happened? Right? Because all I knew was like she told Laura about the thing, and then I kind of had like a really spicy reaction to that. But I was really like, what the fuck happened? Because the story that I got about Mina would indicate to me that like I didn't see that coming, right? I didn't see that coming. So I asked her later, and she said, hey, I don't really understand your question, but if you want to come up, we can talk about it. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just, it's easier to just have an actual conversation than to put something in chat and then have 85 people react to it. And now people are reacting to the reactions. And just to like talk it out. So I really, I knew no one in that chat likes me. I don't think I've ever chatted in her chat since that whole AZ Crimson thing happened. But I was like, I was really curious. Like, I really wanted to hear it. And I even said to her when she put me up at the panel, I said, excuse this question. I'm sure you probably covered this. Mina is Sticker Chick, Candy, in like an earlier stream, but I missed it. I'm just really curious, like, what happened for you to stop supporting Scott? And so she told me. She told me like the whole saga of this back and forth and what her feelings were when she initially met him in DC. And then we had a good laugh because, and you guys may remember this, when Scott started talking about Sticker Chick and the way he told me about her was like, she's the chairman of Antifa. And I was like, in my mind, and I said this last night, in my mind, I was like, that's not a real thing. Antifa's not a corporation. They're not a proper group. No one's the chairman. Like, that's the whole point. And he was like, I was like, Scott, that's not real. And he's like, no, she really is. Like, that's her handle, chairman of Antifa. But like, it's not just a handle. Like, she really is. And I was like, and it was like conveying to me that she's very powerful. She knows don't cross her, and I was like, what? Right. So off the bat, I had already like this false picture of this person. And some of her content, like her going after Vaughn and things like that, I don't know anything about Vaughn. I don't know this woman. I've only heard about her via Scott, via other people. And last night I got like more of an explanation than I ever had. So there I am up on the panel. And, I mean, guys, listen, you guys have seen me get into it with all caps Judy. Okay. She is not my friend. Right. But even all caps Judy was polite in that she was listening to what I was saying, wasn't just trying to scream over me in the chat and all of this kind of stuff. And I learned from Mina, who told the whole audience, it wasn't like we just went private and had like an off-camera conversation. The entire like length of her relationship with Scott and what she had discovered and the conversations they had and the things that pushed her over the edge. Right. And we had a really good back and forth. We both shared some things. Poland was up on the panel, but he didn't say anything really to me. And also Kenny was up on the panel and she didn't say anything. So it was a really good conversation. Now, I was not looking at the chat. At some point, they started bringing chats up on the screen. That's when I could really see people's like statements, right? And of course, Anthony D'Amato was in the chat, Zero Dark Tony. Now, I didn't go to that chat because Tony was there, and I didn't leave because Tony was there. And Tony and all of his mods started putting white flags in the chat, because part of the conversation that I was having was very candid. And I did talk about like the mental health impacts of Tony making those videos about me had on me, and my responsibility for part of that, right? Because it's not just one person on that, like when you're getting attacked online, it's a two-way street. And this is like healing that I've had. And I said, they pulled up the white flags, and I said, okay, Tony, I see your white flags. Thank you for that. And I also made a statement at that time that I really, really, really want to everybody understand. Oh no, guys, I just got a text from the official notice from the Oregon Department of Motor Vehicles from phone number +63 912 112 5579. Like, bro, if you're going to troll me, at least mask your number as a local, like, Oregon area code. Okay, don't come at me from another fucking country. What an idiot. Anyway, what I want to clarify is some things I said about Tony. Okay. Number one, I said that I acknowledged the fact that Tony had gone to a mental health facility, and he had availed himself of those things. And the only things that I had heard is that, he was doing those things, and, he wasn't attacking me. Okay. In no way, shape, or form. And I want to make this abundantly clear. I have a very much a boundary up around my mental health. Anthony D'Amato is one of those boundaries. Do I want to go on a panel with him and talk with him? No. Do I want to keep talking about him? No. Okay. Do I hate him? No. Because for my own personal mental health, I can't keep doing that. Okay. And a lot of people brought up, they were yelling at Sticker Chick about Tony, because they're like, he had, you're supporting a rapist. Now that's a very big accusation, right? And to clarify, we all saw the stream where Anthony said that he had a dream about, some sort of scenario with Solomon in Nevada. That was a thing that Tony did. Okay. I don't know if he addressed that in therapy or not. That's not for me to even inquire about. I don't condone that type of behavior. I don't condone imagining any scenario in which non-consensual sex is happening. And I don't condone throwing out scenarios of children involved in sex acts, period. Okay? Just to make that abundantly clear. But, no, there's no but there. So, and Mina got very defensive about that, because she's kind of right. We don't have, Tony said those things. Those are words. They're disgusting words. Having an impulse like that, or thinking that that's comedy, that to me is not okay. However, we all know also that Tony is under a 10-year restraining order in regards to Solomon. Okay. And I think that he's not able to even talk about it, right, publicly. And so, I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath for 10 years to find out if he has regrets about that or not, or anything. I haven't heard him ever. Guys, I have watched a lot of Zero Dark Tony, which didn't help my mental health. I'm not doing that now. But whatever Tony wants, however he wants to address that is how he's going to address that. It's not my case. And yes, we both took out restraining orders on each other, and they both got dismissed by the judge. At the time, I was really pissed off about that. And then I had to let it go, guys, because it's not good for my mental health to keep putting him in my mind and to keep those words in my mind that he said, right? And so I put that boundary there. It's like, whatever happens with Tony is going to happen. I'm not in control of his content. I'm not in control of his life. And right now, as far as I know, he's not even talking about me, right? So I don't really care what he's doing. You know, I don't wish him ill. Good luck out there on the YouTubes, man. It's fucking hard for everybody right now. I don't really care. So to me, oh, I see. So let me address that in real time here now. This Hero Like Cody situation. So I also said because apparently, and guys, here's the deal: the people in the Hero Like Cody Reddit basically kicked me out. I don't know who's running that Reddit now, but they have been talking nonstop shit about me for quite a while. I deleted that Reddit. I don't look at it. But I left that months ago when they were basically like coming for me in that Reddit and saying nasty things. Now, Cody wasn't saying those things. It was the rest of the people in the Reddit thread. But he also didn't tell people to stop saying that stuff. And I basically told him, listen, thank you for everything you did in support of me. That helped me out. I appreciate you. Peace out. Right. And I said last night on the stream that when Hero Like Cody appeared, I still don't know who they are. It made me feel like on the internet, there was like a person who was saying the same thing that I was, and I wasn't alone in that. Now, the guys here in my chat, well, if it's down now, I wouldn't know about that, Shell, because before I left, that's how that Reddit was. And it's reappeared under various different names. They kept like redoing it because it kept getting stricken. And every time it reappeared, the people who would reappear in it were not kind to me. So that's just like, and that's neither here nor there. Okay. And like I said, I said specifically, Cody didn't say those things, Shell. So please pay attention. I said specifically, Hero Like Cody did not say those things about me. It was the other people in the chat. But he also wasn't like telling people to not. Okay. And that's neither here nor there. Okay. Because it's not against the law to not like me. It's not against the law to say I'm fat. Okay. But it is against the law to harass me and to defame me and to demean me when it becomes like repetitive, right? So what I said, and you guys can go back and watch my words again, because I said that helped me at that time. That was extremely helpful because now, and guys, I haven't been watching Hero Like Cody's content, but what Mina stated was that she didn't like them because they are, in her opinion, suicide trolls. And I said, what is that? I don't know what that means, right? So then Poland explained that. And I said, well, that's not okay, because it's not okay with me for anyone to say things about someone on the internet with the full intention of having them unalive themselves. I don't care who it is. I don't care who we're talking. Even if suicide trolls went after Donald Trump, who I loathe, who's a war criminal, okay? I don't think that anyone should be attacked to the point where they are like, well, that's it, I'm killing myself. Okay? Because that is not okay with me. As a suicide attempt survivor and someone who has dealt with suicidal ideations since I was 7 years old, I don't condone that behavior. If that is how Sticker Chick is interpreting and how that's making her feel the content, then that's something she has to deal with. But also, if that content is framed in that way, which I have not seen it, this is all a supposition, then that's content is not okay, in my opinion, if that's what it's communicating. Okay. That's all, okay. So Okay, the new group against Tony has nothing to do with you. That's great. Okay, it's not run by Cody. Shell, I get it. But I think I want you to hear the whole thing too. Okay? And the thing about it is I don't regret that conversation. I think it was a good conversation. And if you guys didn't see it, I'll pull it up just so you guys can. I didn't even have this prepared because I was just going to talk to you guys. But we can see and if Mina, I'm going to show this conversation. Please don't strike the channel because I just want to. I'm probably going to speed it up a little bit here because and there was also other stuff going on. Boss Talks was on last night. In my opinion, Boss Talks, I heard from somebody else that he had been really sick, and that he was in the hospital, and I'm so sorry about that. I really hope he's okay. Listen, guys, I don't wish anybody death. I really thought Boss Talks did not look good physically last night, and he seemed a little out of it. So I really hope he gets whatever medical attention he needs. You know what I mean? I don't really watch him that much, mostly because like literally he has, and here's the deal. We're talking about a bunch of people that most people don't know. Mostly he has Crackhead Kenny on, and then they just sit there for like 5 hours just screaming into the void, and all this stuff. And it's just like, I go, like, what is the point of that? Like, I think we can all agree, okay, and I'm going to get to the total point here in a minute. The focus of the people who have destroyed the community, okay, and by the community, I mean everybody who was like, fuck, Scientology is really, really bad, and we need to do something about it, right? We need to bring awareness to this. We need to do something about it. The two people that have absolutely decimated that the amount of people that were speaking out about it are Aaron Smith-Levin and Scott Hochstetter, okay? Those two people have done more than anybody else who has ever destroyed the community. Zero Dark Tony mentally harmed me. And he mentally harmed a bunch of other people. And he said a lot of terrible things. Okay. And he got charges for that. And then the judge decided you went to the mental health thing. And that's that. And guys, like as many legal theories as I can come up with about what's going to happen on Tuesday with Aaron, it's ultimately up to that jury of 6 that is going to hear and see the evidence. And whatever they decide is going to be the end of it. Whether it's justice or not, that's how our justice system works. Okay. So, I thought it was a really good conversation. Yeah. Thank you. I wasn't trying to dismiss Cody or what he did. I thanked him for what he did. It's just, this is the problem, guys, is that there's so much chaos happening, and so many characters or whatever, that things are getting lost in the weeds. And we are losing our ability to actually have conversations with people that we don't see 100% eye to eye with, right? I know I don't see 100% eye to eye with Sticker Chick, right? And but I wanted to have this conversation because I know why I called Scott out and the roller coaster ride I went on with him. I was just curious to hear, and it was a very similar coinciding story, right? That hers was much deeper than mine because she talked to him way more than I did, But let's pull up this conversation so you guys can see the actual. We won't just talk about it. We'll show it. Okay, this is the actual conversation that I had last night with Sticker Chick and Kenny and Poland. Okay, again, this is the first time I've talked, I think, to Poland, or maybe he was on a panel I was on once. I don't know, guys. I really don't keep like a tally score or a spreadsheet about this. But we'll just listen.
Well, yeah, I heard that motherfucker.
Hey, so it's not in your chat.
Oh, I'll go hop on panel if he allows Poland up for 30 minutes. Understand this. I'm gonna do the damn thing that y'all want me to
See,
do.
Judy was already
You know,
mad.
I'm
before
not
I got
gonna
in.
do anybody
I'm
else
gonna
has.
turn off
And
this.
my last live, oh fuck boy,
I'm
Hogan
leaving.
was in the chat.
I'm leaving the.
Told you, fuck
thing up.
boy, Holy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Hey
Oh,
girl,
hey,
what's
Nora.
up?
Hey. No,
Hi.
I was driving around about like I don't know. This was a long time ago, so that's probably why you guys don't remember what I'm talking about. But I guess towards the beginning of the stream or something, and then I had dinner with my kid, and then I was like, "What's happening now?" And then I saw you guys were all watching Boss Talks not understand what a bidet is, which is not douching and bideting are not the same thing. That was kind of funny. I'm going to be honest because Boss Talks was going on a roll about Scott douching his ass, and it was like he was talking about bidets, and like all of Europe and everywhere else in the world, bidets are everywhere except for here in America, where they're like this new thing. Guys, have you heard about a bidet? Like, and so I thought that was funny, right? Everybody should have a bidet. I mean, they have them pretty
Yeah.
much in every other country. It's just like America, it's not
Oh,
normalized to
Mhm.
He
wash
was
your.
confused
See,
with
now
douche
all the
and
people that's already.
bidet.
Yeah, no, he really
Mhm.
thinks that a bidet is douching your
What-
butt.
I
and
wasn't
now that's
welcome.
a bidet in the chat here. So that would mean like all of Europe and Japan are gay, right? Which is not. Yeah, and that's
Bidet?
fine. That was the other thing. He was saying that douching your butt means you're gay, and I was like, what? That doesn't even. First of all, no one's douching their butt.
Makes you gay.
Cleaning your
Well,
butt makes you gay.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is that we've normalized in America manufacturing wipes for men called dude wipes that are basically baby wipes that smell like Old Spice, and
my
then they're
God.
not flushable. Please don't flush those. Like you will fuck your
Mhm,
pipes. Don't do
mhm.
that. You have to throw those away, and they don't
Mhm.
biodegrade. It's awful when you could just, wash it. Just a little jet. Get one of the
Yeah.
French Japanese toilets. They're hot.
Mhm.
They do all the
I
things.
love those.
Yeah. It's no, those are rad, but I don't have like $2,000 for the whole thing. So, but you can get a nice one at Home Depot that you can put in yourself or whatever.
But it doesn't mean you're
Shit.
gay.
No,
it
it
doesn't.
just means you have a clean booty. I don't know why there's a problem with that.
Yeah,
That seems
like
weird.
like okay, so you're gonna take some fucking paper and smash poo all around your elbow, and that's somehow less.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he really thinks it's like and also women don't douche. That science
No,
says
no.
don't.
I know what.
Don't-
in the-
Our
Mhm.
vaginas and uteruses
Mhm.
are perfect. Just to say that we have our own cleansing pH
Mhm.
system that it does that. And if you have bad smells, go see
true.
your gynecologist because that means other things.
Mhm. Yeah,
not-
don't mask.
No.
smell, No. Mm-mm.
No. But way earlier, you guys were talking. So there was a comment that came up.
I had to
didn't
bring
see
it
the comments
back.
because I was good call, Tony. I think it's just like common sense. I
Yeah.
mean, that is common sense.
It is.
Clean your butt. I mean, that's not a thing. But earlier,
Everyone
you
just
guys-
listen. We're
everybody was talking
listening now
about,
with our listening ears.
Scott claiming basically
put
like that he had
fragrance
kicked
in your
all these people.
privates.
These were the
Oh, yeah.
exiled people, and you were like, no, we just all left. So my
Yeah.
question was, because the only way I found out about you at all in the internet world, because I mean, like, let's face it, there's like what 100 million people on YouTube that are creators. I don't know. I
Mhm.
actually don't know the number on YouTube. Was that Scott had said, oh, you should talk to Mina. She's the chairman of Antifa in Washington D.C. But he was like dead serious, and in my mind I was going, that doesn't make sense. Antifa is not an organized group, but okay,
Yeah.
that's and I know that was like your name on the thing for a while, but I was like,
joke.
that's a joke because Antifa it's not an organization. There's no LLC. There's no brick and mortar. There's no one's
Nope.
paying taxes from Antifa, right?
No.
But Scott,
Yeah.
I think Scott really
Resources, no,
believed
there's
that
nothing.
though. I
What?
really do think that he believed that you were the chairman of Antifa,
Yes.
Washington D.C.
He did.
Definitely.
No, 100%.
For sure he did.
He told me that, right?
Yeah.
That's what he told me, and that's what he told me. Oh, you'd be
I
like,
thought he was
yeah,
a
she's
joke.
very cool, but she's very powerful. Like you can't.
Oh my god.
Like he really, in his mind, when you told him that was real.
I don't think he thought that was real because it was a joke. Everybody knows it's a
Can
joke.
anybody else in the chat that like totally? Thank you. See? Look at
What
all the
the
other people
fuck?
confirming that. No, I'm serious. He told people like it was dead ass
Ooh.
facts.
Yeah.
That you is like Mina is the chairman of Antifa, like as if you had an office
Right.
or something,
Thank you,
and you're meeting
princess.
with dignitaries.
It would
you
be
know,
an
I don't
S
know.
corp
No
right
way.
now. Yes,
No,
it
I don't
would.
believe that.
100% it'd
Ellen,
be
yes, it would.
And then later I
Ruby
realized
Tapes is in here. Do you want to tell him to fuck off?
Um,
is?
I mean, you might as well.
I don't
You
even
can
know who
click the
that
link
is.
to Ruby Tapes, but you might as well leave. That's a shield for everyone who didn't know. You might as
Yeah,
well leave.
Ruby
Ruby.
Tapes
We
is
know
a
who you
shield.
are.
Went
Fuck
into
off.
the chat.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
But
Not
I
now.
was just asking.
We have a guest. Be quiet, Ruby.
I was
So go
asking,
on,
like,
Laura.
for you particularly, I've heard a lot of other people's stories of like kind of like what was the line in the sand for them.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I don't know if you've covered it on another video. Guys, contrary to popular belief, I actually have like children and a wife, and I don't watch everybody's. It's like
Correct.
I would never sleep. I would still not be caught up.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
don't watch everybody's stuff. So just basically what happened was I wasn't willing to do what DOA said, which was, and I mean that's basically how it goes with
Thank
everyone.
you,
But what happened
Artax.
was
That's
I
nice of
started
you to say.
talking to people
See, then it went in
outside of
subs only
DOA's
mode there.
orbit that he didn't like. I started talking to people like Wild Coconuts at CDT's mods. They are not mods in my thing. We did that as a joke after this thing, but DOA felt like he said that I was supporting rapists and I was supporting his mother's rape and I was advocating for rape, and he said rape like 50,000 goddamn times over and over and again, and he accused me of being a rape supporter. But what he did was one day a couple weeks ago, he texted me, and I guess at the same time I have a Discord. We have a Discord, all of us have a Discord that we're all in, and this Discord and the reason why we were actually talking to ZDT's mods and stuff were like that because like the same people that were going after DOA were going after ZDT too. There was like a crossover in the trolling, right? And so that's the only reason we talked to them, and then like it just wasn't acceptable.
So that was just like research. You were like, what's up with this weirdness? Okay, that makes sense. And then when you started like thinking about stuff, it's just then Scott just lost his shit.
No,
he was fine with it for a while.
He told us he was fine with it. He came on a live stream, said he was fine with it.
Okay.
Right. But eventually, like a few weeks later, he was like not fine with it. And so he texted me. And by the way, there were a couple people that had been old friends of ours that were in in the Discord with us. And they sent him screenshots of the day that he was like talking major shit about us. Right. And the people
like he was being really mean.
He was being awful to his own viewers, rather be in Maui. Other people, like people who really supported him.
Oh no, they gave him massive amounts of money.
Yes, he kicked us off the
right?
balls.
He called them punk ass bitches and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah. I just want to say one thing that like that kind of irks me a lot, and I talk about it later. But like people who have given massive support, and then for Scott to literally shit on them. Like that told me a lot about his character. But I talk about that a little bit later.
So, and he had texted me that day, and we do have a live stream about it, but let me just tell you. And then he started making threats to me, which really made me mad, but let me find it. So he texted me that basically an ultimatum, but hold on. Gosh, when was it? Sorry, my neck hurts.
Guys, look at me being quiet.
And hold on, let me just fucking do a search. I don't even know where. Here we go. And I mean, here. So this was at 86 GOP came into our live stream.
No, I know that. That's all it took.
Yeah.
Just for a reminder for everybody, I have one rule in my chat. Okay, and that's don't be a dick. I'm well aware of the things that Artax said about me for about a year. I saw it. I screenshotted it. I have it. It's not. I haven't forgotten these things. Okay. Part of doing trauma work on yourself and healing from trauma is seeing the whole picture. Okay. And seeing all of it from all sides. Right. And some of that is really difficult because sometimes you have to see yourself in a position where you weren't doing the best stuff, even though you were more victimized in a situation, etc. But I was really listening to what she was saying here because this is all stuff I didn't know about what Scott was communicating to her about what, right? And guys, let's not get into a righteousness off in the chat, okay? I understand that there are people in this chat right now that are not normally in my chat, okay? They haven't been supporters of me in the past. I don't expect them to become a supporter. I didn't go over there to recruit supporters, okay? That's not the point. And as I've said many times here, guys, that this isn't a cult. Everybody's free to go watch and comment wherever they want. Okay? But this is my channel, right? I get to say the things I want to say, right? I get pushback all the time. Oh, you shouldn't talk about politics. Don't talk about MAGA. A lot of us are MAGA, but we like you. Okay, great. This is my channel. I have very definite political views, and when they are relevant to the situation that I'm talking about, I'm going to bring that up. And if you don't like my political views and that upsets you, that's okay. You don't have to be here. If you're like, I can't support this person because they say this, that, and this, you don't have to. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not against you. I'm who I am, right? And everyone can, oh, right, I forgot that RTAC's got a membership. I don't pick who gets the memberships, guys. Google does. I don't even do that. Okay? So it's literally like my only rule here, okay, is to don't be a dick to each other and don't be a dick to me and don't be a dick to my mods, right? Like just be able to have conversation, hear people, listen when I'm talking and make your own conclusions, okay? Because I'm not 100% right about everything. I say a lot of stuff that is like things that I think in my mind and I present to you the reasons why I think those things and I'm either right or wrong. It's not, at the end of the day, guys, I'm just a fucking, dyke on the internet talking to you guys, okay? And trying to educate people about Scientology and trying to stand up against abuse, period, in all forms, okay? So we'll finish this conversation, okay? Okay, there we go.
Really, truly, DOA seems to think that he avoided a murder plot.
Oh my God.
From 86 GOP because 86 GOP said burn it down in his chat, which Kendrick Moxon apparently said that in court that there was some kind of that.
And this was wild. I mean, guys, Kendrick Moxon will glom on to any fucking straw that he can to try and eliminate an enemy of Scientology. Like that's just literally, see, okay, I'm going to bring this up here. Julie, this is what I'm saying. I can say whatever I want on my channel, Julie. You don't control my channel, okay? No one controls this channel except for me, Nora Ames. That's it, okay? And when I say things about politics, and I'm going to say something now because you brought it up, Julie. Donald Trump is a war criminal. He started a war on Friday without congressional approval, which is in our Constitution. He invaded Venezuela without congressional approval. He, fucking bombed Iran without congressional approval. This is the 6th time just since he's been president for a year that he has, without congressional approval, launched rockets at someone because whatever the fuck. Okay? And he has made billions of dollars with anonymous Saudi and Qatari and other, donations to his bullshit meme coin. And no one is literally doing anything about it. Yeah, Bibi Netanyahu is a fucking war criminal. Okay? So I don't support war criminals. I don't support abusers. I don't support anybody on the goddamn Epstein list. And Trump is on that list. There's evidence that he had sex with children. Okay? That's the guy you're supporting. If you don't like that I'm going to call him out for exactly what he is, then you can go and be on the other part of the internet where they love him and go back to the cult that you're in. Okay? But I'm not going to be told what I can't and can't say on my own channel. That's a line in the sand for me. Okay? Right now, we are bombing innocent people in Iran who were just trying to protest against the regime and have human rights. And instead of Trump making a call to his fucking, bestie Elon to get the internet turned back on for Iran so that they could talk to each other and show the world what's really happening in Iran, he decides to send in American children to go die, 3 of which have already died, to go murder innocent people in Iran. Why? Who's making the money off of this? Go ask yourself that right now. Who is benefiting from this insurrection, from this fucking regime change that America is so fucking famous for? And there hasn't been one regime that we have changed in the history of the United States that has been successful. Okay? So please, let's keep it real. Okay? Like, we gotta really, yeah, he did. We bombed. No, it's we, America. We bombed a school full of children, of women, of young ladies who were fucking getting educated. How do you feel about that? Is that okay with you? That's not a line in the sand for you? Thank you, West Coast Fancy Nancy, for this super chat. I appreciate you. That's not a line in the sand for you? To think about the possible sanity? We're not even talking about the gossipy shit, like the fact that he shits his pants in every world leader meeting that he has, that this man has been incontinent since the fucking 90s because he's so lazy and entitled that he's been paying someone to wipe his ass since the 1990s, okay? This is the man who's in charge right now, who thinks he doesn't have to follow any of the rules, who keeps hinting that he's going for a fucking 3rd illegal term. He's destroying our ability to vote. And this is the guy that you want to, like, literally sit there and champion and tell me I can't talk about. Do some fucking research. Get out of the cult, okay? He's not helping you. He wants to control your fucking uterus. Please, women of America, wake the fuck up. Okay? I'm really, like, literally, I can't. It's just so fucking disgusting. Listen, this isn't a whataboutism, Nicole. And I agree with you. We have just made it work. We have just made this worse. The Ayatollah, who we installed in the 70s, has fucked over Iranian women for 46 years. Okay? So, yeah. Okay. All right. I'm back on track now. Sorry. I'm off my soapbox. Damn it. And guys, listen, this is the Raging Buddha. I will talk politics on here. And after Tuesday, you better fucking believe we're going to be talking a lot of things on here. Because Aaron Smith Levin and Scott Hochstetter aren't the only 2 fucking abusers in the world. No, Trump didn't get a bidet. He's too fucking lazy for that. He'd have to, like, figure out how to operate it. Is someone telling me to go read something from the Heritage Foundation? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, I have like 5 documentaries for you to watch. The Heritage Foundation is literally the occult propaganda that invented evangelical Christianity to suppress women in this country. Please stop. Please literally do some research, everyone. Stop reading the Heritage Foundation shit. Holy shit balls, man. All right, here we go.
He was threatening to burn Scientology down.
Wait a minute, isn't 86 GOP OSA? Why would Kendrick Moxon use an OSA operative's chat as testimony? Yeah, that doesn't make no sense. I know, like, the whole 86 GOP thing to me is hilarious. Only because when he was first Aaron's, like, #1 donor, like, giving him all of the cheddar and taking him out to dinner in real life, I believe all of this. Too. The rest of us were like, could you, if he has so much, thank you, December. Us too. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to having a sugar daddy. I mean, I'm gay, but whatever. Send me the money, And he was like, no, this is my friend. That's not classy. I'm not going to ask my friend to donate money to you. And I was like, yeah, but he's just like, he's a chatter, like, whatever. So then he started donating to Scott. And Scott was like, yeah, man. And he was showing up at the protest and handing out fucking money, like, making it rain. And Mindy was handing out $100 bills. And then all of a sudden, somebody told Scott something about 86. And he didn't go to the dinner with him. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff happened. And then and then Aaron got somehow broken up with too, because this whole 86 thing happened. And then he started donating to Tony. And then I was like, okay, well, and 86 knows this. Like, I've said it to him in chat. I was like, bro, you said a lot of nasty things about me. You super chatted for a lot of hate on me. And then he came into my chat and everybody's like, oh, Now it's a total op. And I was like, listen, if this guy hates me and he's fucking giving me $100 in chat, what am I going to do? No, I give it back. Like, no, I need $100. That's fine. You want to give me the money? You want to donate memberships? I don't care. And I mean, I haven't, but when he came into my chat, Scott also was like, and then Aaron tried to use that on me to be like, she's Osa. And I was like, bro, do you want to see the montage of you and 86 in love? Like, are you joking right now? Like, so, I mean, I don't know anything about 86 GOP. I've never met him. I mean, he just seems like, from the comments that he did in my chat, he seems like some eccentric dude who just has a lot of money, who just enjoys
Trolling
doing
Scott.
whatever he's
You
doing
guys
with
should
it.
protest that.
And sometimes he doesn't give money or memberships. He just chats because he has thoughts about stuff, which is also not illegal.
Guess what?
Mhm.
You can't give money or memberships in my chat. So this
There
was
you
a
go.
little, this was a little bit challenging for Joe to kind of deal with, right? Because he couldn't say that 86 GOP was giving me money because I'm Scientology. I don't give a fuck about Scientology either, right? Like, that's not my thing. I've never claimed to. I'm too busy being the chairman of Antifa.
I know, that's a big job.
Yeah. And so
Okay,
he
Kerosene,
texted me
that's
like
fine.
the next day after
It's
86
not
GOP
a,
was in my chat. He
you know,
wrote, I was
airport. You don't
totally
have
not
to
like
announce
even
your
knowing.
departure, but thank you for being
And he
here.
was like, so 86 GOP funded Rib Guy and Becky and had me tied into a plot to murder Kendrick Moxon.
No,
I
everybody
don't-
should
like,
follow the
it was like
money.
Tony threatened to rape
What
my
money do you have a question about, Cal and Coop? See, here's the problem. That's not a real question. So follow the money always. I don't know who 86 GOP is. I have met, out of all the people that have ever super chatted me over the past 3 years, I think I've met less than 10 of them in person. I don't know any of them. They could be anybody on the internet. Right? So should I like fucking investigate every single person who's ever super chatted me? The only reason 86 GOP is a fucking thing is because of this gigantic circle that I just was describing here. Right? So follow the money when it comes to, I mean, you could do that for anything. But particularly when it comes to war and things like that, right? Because there's no reason for this, what's happening in Iran right now, other than someone is benefiting. Someone is benefiting. So I'm saying that it's fine to get money from 86, no matter who he is or what he's doing. And that includes manipulating my community. But if he's giving you money, I'm okay with it. I made a joke out of it, and I said this joke to my mods, and I'll repeat the joke here. I know that he super chatted Anthony D'Amato for saying horrific things about me. I know he said not kind things about me in Anthony's chat. I have those screenshots too for when I was making this whole fucking, restraining order. So I jokingly said, well, it's restitution for the damage. But also, like, I can't control, I could turn off super chats, which doesn't benefit me because, guys, like I've said, they're on because if you want to do that, you can. It's not a demand, but it is an option that I personally am in favor of. And how many times have I gotten, like, literally, people have super chatted me just to tell me I'm a fucking cunt or whatever. Fine, you want to hate super chat me? What am I going to do? Refund you because you don't like me? That seems stupid, right? So he started with Aaron, Bernina. He was Aaron's biggest supporter in super chats and behind the scenes and at the foundation. Okay, so like Aaron burnt that bridge to the ground. So then Aaron started attacking anybody who was getting super chatted by 86 GOP, which is the only reason that Aaron ever said anything about Anthony was because 86 GOP showed up in Anthony's chat. And that was the bridge too far for Aaron, not the things that Anthony was saying about me and Alicia and Vanessa and Lara, right? And even him, he didn't care. He cared that somebody else was getting his money. Okay? That's the kind of person that Aaron is. If the scenario had been reversed and 86 GOP had been my biggest financier for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden we had a falling out and he's supporting somebody else, I would be like, well, I guess he supports that person now. Whatever. I don't know. Like, it's just, yeah. So I get it. Everybody has big fifis. That's why we're talking about it. That's why I want you guys to see I know. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Okay. Dylan and I are both survivors of Scientology. We both spent time in the fake space Navy making maybe $47 a week when we got paid, guys, because there was a lot of weeks We didn't get paid for doing like 100 hours of work a week. Do you know every time I get a super chat of any amount, it's a surprise, first of all. Second of all, it's like you guys have no idea, and I shouldn't say no idea. A lot of people grew up poor. A lot of people grew up in terrible conditions. I also grew up relatively poor for a majority of my youth. Okay. And then I went and joined the fake space Navy and fucked myself all up and all this stuff. Okay. And it's fucked me up about money for a long time. And people coming in and doing this like hard line, like, oh, you're just in it for the money. Like, this is my job. So yes, working and putting these things together and like watching all this other shit so I can present it to you and clipping stuff and doing that's a job that I am doing. And I am getting in exchange for it from Google via ad revenue, the memberships, and sometimes super chats. And sometimes people click on the little QR code thingy and they send me a PayPal or a Venmo or a Cash App. And I am eternally grateful for every single person that's ever done that. Okay? Like that's that. The difference between me and President Trump, okay, is that I'm sitting here telling you about my life, being very vulnerable, talking about truth, standing up to abusers. President Trump literally ran a fucking meme coin scam to launder money from Saudi Arabia and other places so that he wasn't accountable, even though he's not supposed to make any other income but his presidential salary while he's president. And he's got billions of dollars, and I got hundreds of dollars. So, like, who's the fucking grifter? Like, give me a break. Give me a break. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for this super sticker. That's very nice. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay. Just be kind to each other. Just use adult language here. Let's literally, let's just talk to each other.
Mom falsely called the police on me and cost me hundreds of hours of litigation. My tires were slashed because of Tony and he lied in court. I would have gotten a restraining order if Jaylen's restraining order hadn't been active. So that's just another person. He went to her house twice on Christmas.
Right.
And so he's saying that he lost his restraining order against Tony, not because of like that or anything, but because he already had a restraining order, which is bullshit because that's just not reality.
Yeah,
like you can still get a restraining order even if you have a restraining order on you. And
worth it.
His mods and what they did made my life a living hell. 86 GOP was involved with funding that. And now, let's not talk about how he's made other people's lives a living hell, right? Like, let's not do that. But
that would be, I mean, the thing about Scott is I went on a roller coaster ride with him. Like when he first showed up and Aaron had him on, or the first day I saw him. And this is the thing, guys. I got mad at Sticker Chick for not initially giving that info over to Laura. But the true thing is Scott should have never done what he did. It doesn't matter how many people he told about it. Scott is the one who did that. Okay. And that, like, this is the thing I have to be reminded about. Scott is the one who is stirring up shit constantly, pitting people against each other, making these weird rules about like, well, if you think blah, blah, you can't be here. Like all this weird shit. Okay. And when date coincident with the arrival of Scott, everything goes to fucking shit in the community. I don't know one person except for the people left in his chat. This lady Z and Chi and who the fuck else is ever there. All of these people that you see in Sticker Chick's chat that are there now, these are all people who supported Scott. All people who he fucked over. That helped him a lot. That gave a fuck ton of money, which makes me upset. Not because Scott got money. I don't care about that. But because he got money from a scam. Right? It's a fucking scam. That's what pisses me off. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That's so sweet of you. Okay? Guys, literally, thank you, Stacy. If you don't like somebody in the chat right now, just go to their name, click the 3 dots, and hit block. You will not see any more of their chats. Okay. I'm not going to have my mods like fucking bouncing 400,000 people out of here. Let's just have a conversation. Yeah, the Trump phones. Exactly. Anybody get one of those? I saw some influencers, like review them, and they were total trash, guys. It was awful. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, no, he's a professional protester, and we talk about that too. So let's finish. Oh, sorry. Let's finish this thing. Okay, your first super chat. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. On Lara's stream when he was standing there with the pineapple glasses and the fedora and the leopard coat, immediately I like texted Lara and I was like, that guy's dangerous. Don't talk to him. I don't like him. It's bad vibes. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't watch all the previous streams. I knew nothing about the J6, 1776, all the thing, nothing. And I was like, I don't like it. And then the whole thing happened with Aaron, and he interviewed the guy who Aaron got in the physical altercation with in LA. Scott tracked him down before anybody else. And in that interview, which Scott has now deleted, the guy's like, freaking out. And he's like, no, I'm not with them. I'm a journalist. I just want to get your side. He's like, yeah, I am investigating them. So I was like, Scott said that to the guy. He didn't have his little costume on. He went right up to the guy and he was like, yeah, I'm an independent journalist. And I'm here just, seeing what this is all about. And it's like I was like, oh, and then pretty soon on, I figured out this guy is just like a failed community theater actor who lives in a van, and he's figured out a way, to sadfish the internet into allowing him to be a nomad and have, but it was apparent to me, like I noticed things about Scott right away. I was like, and then when I found out where he lived, where he came from, I was like, oh, he's a failed rich kid who's just like literally he lived on upper class side of Chicago, went to a decent university, dropped out because he's lazy. And now he's, I'm sure he could return home anytime. And he probably has got a trust fund waiting for him somewhere. But meanwhile, he's grifting all this shit from people. And what makes me sad about that is I don't think, listen, I've had a lot of ups and downs with people in the chat, and we won't get into that because it doesn't even matter. But like, I never saw any of the people chatting to him when they were just, like, oh, you need a new phone. Here's a $50 or whatever. It made me sad because I'm like, if people are giving that, what are they not having in their lives? If they can, because I've given stuff when I couldn't really afford it, just because I was like, okay, here's $20 because you definitely need it more than I do at this moment. But the amount of regular giving that was happening from people, I was like, I don't think all of these people are super rich. You know what I mean? And that made me sad because he's sitting on 13 grand right now that's in somebody else's name, and it's the same thing Aaron does. I mean, Aaron got like almost 30 grand when he got detained in Los Angeles because it wasn't an arrest, because everybody thought he was getting arrested and he was going to need a lawyer. And I asked him directly, are you going to give that back? And he's like, I didn't ask him to give it to me. What?
I just think that people are giving because they believe that he was like doing something, that he was genuine, and that he was really fighting. People love an underdog. And I just wasn't paying attention, I guess, because I'm not into Scientology. When he was here in DC, because I'm from Washington DC, he like my first reaction, same thing, like fucking grifter, loser, get the fuck out of here. But he just attaches himself.
See, and that was news to me in that moment, that was her first impression of Scott, because the story we all got was like, they're friends and he knew her. And it wasn't like, oh, I just met this woman in DC and she's super cool. It was like, I'm allied. We are the same, me and Sticker Chick, and we are a powerful dynamic duo. Right. And it's like, what? So, yeah.
And I believe this to be true. I thought he had changed, right? And he attaches himself to different things so he can grift off of your emotions about your hatred or like of that thing, right? Mm-hmm. That's basically it. And so here in DC, he had, he showed up for this thing that we were doing as locals, right? And he got actually like physically assaulted, in my opinion, by somebody who was part of this MAGA shit that they were doing, this J6 stuff. Yeah. And so I softened, because I'm gullible and I believe that everybody can change, right? I believe that Tony can change. I believe that everybody's a chance. I'm also a therapist. I'm also in recovery. So and plus I also have, as everybody knows now, because Julie Kuntis decided to tell everybody, I have bipolar disorder. And I also, and I went to prison. I did all that stuff and people forgave me. So I'm going to go on the side of a therapist. So I'm going to go on the side that people can change. And so I did that and gave the benefit of the doubt. And apparently what Scott has later said is that he needed me for credibility.
Oh no, 100% it was for your clout.
Yeah.
Did he actually get pulled over in DC because somebody thought he had bombs?
So actually, I was in DC and I was in his car when we saw the cops go to turn their lights on. DOA freaked out. We were going the other way, but they were going to the Freedom Corner to, arrest him or whatever, the swatting thing. But yeah, I think he was swatted in DC. I'm glad I wasn't in the car. I didn't even think that was a possibility. But yeah, I do think that he was swatted in DC. I do.
That's wild. I mean, I don't abide by that either. And I still have so many questions about the whole swatting thing, as many people do. Like, I don't, if Scientology was really calling in every single one of those, I don't know what just happened with the thing here. Okay. Listen, Callie, I don't condone anybody making fun of Melody for having to have apparently more toes removed. I don't talk to Melody anymore because she became so enamored with Scott. Okay. She started talking, just being like unbelievably gross towards me for no reason when I had never done anything. And this is a person I met in real life. I had never done anything but support her and even give her money when she asked for it. So, like, if people are going to say, guys, again, that is definitely being a dick. Do not comment on Melody's medical conditions. It's just stupid. But also, Callie Coop, okay? Cal and Coop, I'm sorry, I'm saying the name wrong. If you don't like someone, block them. This chat is open. It is not subscribers only. Okay? Anybody can come in here and make a comment. But this is, I got to give you like kind of like a final warning because you're violating the rule of don't be a dick. Dylan, who are all these people? Okay, obviously that's me. You know me. That's me. This is Sticker Chick. This is Kenny. I don't really know anything about Kenny. And this is a guy who calls himself Poland. Apparently he's an independent Scientologist or something. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But Sticker Chick was having these people on her panel, and then I came up to talk. So she's talking about how she met Scott and like what had happened. Okay. So that's where we're at. They should be fucking shut down because that first of all, that's a terrifying thing, I think, for anybody to go through, to be surrounded by people with long guns and helicopters. And it's like, that is life or death. Like if you don't comply, you're toast. There's no getting around that. And then, there was the rumors that Scott did it, and that hasn't been proven either. So that would also be like, if that's a grift, that's like
insane.
Like, that's awesome.
I don't think he did that.
I don't think so either. I heard one of the calls, and it definitely, one of the fake fire calls, it definitely sounded to me as a former Scientologist, like the wording and the cadence of somebody who would absolutely have been in the fake space Navy. But yeah, I mean, it's like, if that is Scientology, that should definitely, they should, I don't even know how much money the city of LA spent on every single one of those swattings, but it's something like $175,000. Every time they do that or something. It's like some insane amount of money. Of course he's happy. He's happy when anybody falls down or gets fucked up. It's the same thing with Aaron. He celebrates people's failures.
Did you see what he wrote? Because Lindsay's in your chat.
I did. And now, guys, I had not seen this post that Scott had made about Lindsay. Okay. And so she's going to tell me about it. And then I later went and saw it. And then I made my own post.
Or something.
Yeah, sometimes she does,
and he put a photo of her with a black eye and said he was glad that she got hit by the police.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
This is the guy who says, "Don't tell me I'm going to a cage, but it's okay for police to hit a woman."
He said at least the police got a few licks in. It's just very dehumanizing and gross. And like, I have a life, so like I just didn't pay attention to all the stuff that was happening. But he did definitely like tell me things when he'd get really excited, because I do think like a part of him like had some respect for me and wanted to like impress me or whatever. And I think like, but I just think, I don't know if it was the swattings or maybe he was always like this, but he definitely like deteriorated and got more and more aggressive and mean, I think. But
Poland is fire truck. Interesting.
He did trust that.
Guys, also, just because I was on a panel with these people, I have no desire or reason to talk to Poland.
Wouldn't say anything, and I didn't, because also I have other shit in my life. So
I didn't know that. Wait a minute, you have a whole life that doesn't. It's not on YouTube.
Whole goddamn life. Anyway, so
and you're not his mom.
No, I'm so glad I'm not his mother. Poor thing. But so I definitely, he told me that I'm sure you heard this, that Laura. He deleted Laura's live stream, the one where
that part I did. I heard about.
Yeah, like, and then he also, did these little things that I just didn't even think about, right? And I wasn't going to tell anybody because who's I going to tell? Like, it's just not my thing, right? And I really genuinely was trying to help it, and really genuinely was a friend, but his was very transactional, and I just didn't really. So even when he said that, I thought we were having a conversation, right? Even when he sent me this text, I hope you never go through that with your family. And I said, that's horrible. I hope that I don't have to go through that with my family either. And I said, I support change. I support anybody's change. I supported your change, right? You were a fucking gross, chud, fascist, J6 supporting loser. And and you're fucking gross. Like with, I do think that he uses.
And guys, as much as Scott is flip-flopped on that, okay, he absolutely has supported. He didn't go in there to break up J6. He has espoused many very strange MAGA right-wing conspiracy theories and things like that. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, Dylan, I mean, it's interesting to be able to look at it this way. These are things we definitely did not do in the fake space Navy. You couldn't talk to your perceived enemy, right? And that's the other thing. It's like, I would love to sit down with Scientologists and talk to them in earnest and like just talk it out, and talk over the things that are huge problems inside the organization and show them the evidence and then have them be able to like make a fucking decision, right? But how do we get to that point if all we're doing is mocking people? Right? There's no way to get to that, doing that. Right? Oh yeah, he absolutely went to the Freedom Corner. Where did that go? Mary, to go get, to get content. It wasn't about fighting them. It wasn't about supporting them. It's all clicks. It's all transactional. Aaron is the same way. Right? He admitted on Friday that the protests are not to get people out. He said, protesting is protesting, and helping someone leave Scientology is helping someone leave Scientology. Can someone make that make sense? If I'm outside protesting, I'm trying to get someone to wake up. I'm not out there just to be like, look at me standing outside a place I don't like. Pew, 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 pew. Feed my ego. It is literally like, hey, I escaped. I can help you. I am here. I want to help you not be under that control. Right? Like, it's insane.
Marginalized people. I think he doesn't understand what drag is. I don't he uses these like dog whistles, the rainbows, all that stuff to troll people, right? And using their causes as a way to boost his own, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't wear a rainbow because he's an actual Labiqua ally. He wears a rainbow because it pisses off other people.
Yep. And like, again, these are things that I knew, but just again, people change, right? And I'm like, okay, he's changing. Like, at least in my head, it's like, at least Dylan. He's not like gay bashing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think,
that's a whole other, I mean, I think that we can all be too sensitive about things, and we can all be like, overly upset about stuff that is personal to us. A lot of that is our own things, right? And then it gets blown up into, I mean, I've learned a lot over the last couple years and done a lot of therapy, so like that's helpful. But I think it's just for people like Scott, and that chat says Aaron is a disgusting abuser. And I don't disagree with that. That is why I have focused so hard on Aaron over this last year. And just now, I mean, when I was out here at Chicken Little all by myself, people were like, Nora's crazy. She's obsessed. She's jealous. And then when he caught the charge, okay, and started pretending like he didn't do anything, slowly, since July of last year, with me showing his words and actions, people are like, holy shit. He's actually not a safe person. He is an abuser, right? So it's only taken me like 18 months, guys, of repeating myself over and over that nobody watches to get people to realize, like, yeah, I'm not an insane person about that, right? It is just, yeah. Oh, no, I agree, Dylan. I agree. And like I said, that members only, that wasn't just like, hey, members, ask me anything, fun time. It was like I just did another episode. So I thought about that today, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to make that live. I might even make it live at midnight tonight. I had fun with the members, and I do want to do a members only that's like literally, let's just have fun and shoot the breeze about what the fuck ever you guys want to talk about, and do like a full Q&A situation. But this idea that it's okay to say defaming, slanderous things because it's behind a paywall, that's actually not legally true. That's actually not legally true. Right? That, yeah. It's just nuts. All right. And Aaron in particular, they are very similar because they are both predatory in nature, and it is all transactional. It is not actual, genuine concern, care, empathy. Like Scott, he became interested in Scientology because it was trending on TikTok. And then he glommed onto Lara, who has honestly one of the most tragic stories of people born specifically into the fake space Navy, and then used her clout to establish himself firmly in this tiny little micro. And it really is. I mean, the anti-Scientology community is like this big on the internet. And people like Aaron are like, we're important. And I'm like, nobody cares. Like, because it's not about us. It's about getting the people out and
Claude,
and I'm bringing awareness about everybody's favorite
screenshot
cult.
of your questions.
You know,
so I
it's
can
like
get
literally
it
the
after.
world's most beloved cult is Scientology, which is partially why it doesn't go away, because people are like, oh, it's just Tom Cruise, you know, and they cutify it too much. Oh, did he start using that word? Yeah, and Scott says things, and then he says he has a speech impediment. A lot of times he doesn't have the speech impediment until he can't say Lara's name. And I'm like, if you're going to be romantically involved with someone, that's something you learn. Like, that's a show of, I love you.
I stand by that.
Even if I can't say your name very well, or I'm going to come up with a nickname that isn't your name lovingly for you, because I can't. You know what I mean? Like, that's, I don't know. That's just me. And all of the other, I mean, I don't watch a lot of stuff. Like, I don't watch Mexican long hair stuff, not because I have a beef with any of those people, but
dude, you almost gave Doug a heart attack.
They take it too far.
Yeah,
like, I don't like the advertisements. I don't like the AI pictures of Scott. Like, his actions and words are already bad. Like, just talk. That's why like, yes, I've said Aaron's head looked like a penis or something once, but like, that's why I focus on his actions and words, because I don't have to like make AI visuals of him. Like, he's doing the things that are bad. You know what I mean?
Well,
just,
now DOA, it sounds like he's going to be, he's advocating for Aaron, because what Aaron did was not as bad as something. I can't remember.
We don't use AI over here. We just take the real thing.
Yeah, just take this. Why do you need AI? He's doing it all right there. You got it.
And now he's using you. And the time that I was on AZ Crimson's panel and you were there to say that I'm a suicide troll, and he's saying that Charlie said, and I understand it was bad. Okay. Yeah. I was like, not great.
Okay, so now we get into the part where we both take accountability for our actions during a completely unhinged panel that was on AZ Crimson's channel. And I was really just, when I went on that, AZ had started saying a bunch of shit about me, right? And yeah, anyway, I explain it here. Let's just, Thank you, Rox, for putting that in there.
We was trying to tell you to get the fuck off.
No, you told me several times. You did. Listen, I will say this. I was in a bad state of mind. And I was in a state of mind where everything, and I've talked about this a lot on my show, but like, I was really like obsessed with making sure that everything that was being said about me on the internet was truthful, because it really, like, I was very focused on that, because I am not pretty much a lot of the things that people say about me. And it was just like, it felt like there was a lot of other stuff happening at that time. And I was trying to find like one thing that I could like control on it. Yeah. And that was, first of all, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I shouldn't have been up. I shouldn't have been watching it. I should have been asleep. Like, that's real talk. Like, as an adult, I was not caring for myself. Right. Yeah. I wasn't doing a good job of taking care of myself. And that's something that I've really, really, really been working on. Is like, if something's fucking my shit up, I got to take a break and I got to go decompress. Right. And I do try to see, like, I flip through everybody's stuff every once in a while. I'm like, what are they talking about? Okay. What are they talking about? Oh, that's interesting. What is this? You know, like, and if I get interested, I'm watching like crime documentaries on Netflix and shit, or I'm watching Love is Blind because I'm obsessed. Right. Like, these are the two areas that I go, oh God, I have to watch all. Listen, The Bachelorette is going to be Taylor Frankie Paul, and Mormon Wives is also, oh my God, you've never seen The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Mina?
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
It is literally, okay, they're in season, it's going to be season 4. Go watch the first 3 seasons. If you are not sucked in after the first episode, because first you're like, what do I care about these bitches? They're like 23. What do they fucking know about anything? They're so dumb. Oh, they're TikTokers, whatever. And then by the end of the first episode, you're like, what is happening with everything? Like, you just, it's wild. It's a wild contradiction, because they're supposed to be this like Mormon influencers, but they're all dressing like every single scene girl from 2002. And you're like, what? Where are your garments? Where are what's happening? It's a whole.
I dated a Mormon.
Oh, wow.
With the underwear and everything.
Dodged a bullet on that one. Yeah, but it's just, that night was not a best choice for me. AZ was out of control and probably drunk. You know, and he's not.
Charlie is a fucking troll. He is in my chat right now. He is
Charlie was really mean.
Yeah, he is fucking mean. I told you, don't do this, girl.
Can we get the record straight that he did say dive and not die?
He did not say die.
I was already hysterically crying. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Into a pool of AIDS, which I understand.
Dive into a pool of AIDS.
Yes, because
I would probably die after that. That's sort of the same.
But really, what is a pool of AIDS?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
It's not a real thing.
No, that's not. There are none of those.
Yeah, and then he was like, it's like me telling you that you should get punched in the face by a T-Rex. But he's a fucking dick. He's a fucking troll.
Yeah.
Shut up, Charlie.
See, he's just.
He's I know. And he's an idiot.
And truth be told, I like humor. I like funny things. There are some things I don't think. Like
humor.
MLA stuff to me isn't funny.
Gross.
It's not. That's not funny.
Yeah, I do like humor, and there's certain things that I don't think are funny that other people do. But yeah, Yeah, he said dive, not die. And I honestly didn't hear that. I was hysterical, guys. It was not a good night for me. It was not a good thing. You know, and after that, AZ sort of apologized, then he took it back, then he put the stream back up, then he took it down. They put, and now he's back to talking shit about me. So I don't really care. And I say that here.
Not,
When
yeah.
people are just,
No,
yeah. So
degrading.
I have
Prison rape jokes? Not.
no,
Mhm.
no.
And,
Even if,
like,
if Scott goes to jail, which that's debatable. I don't,
I doubt you.
I don't want. I never want anyone to be sexually assaulted. I don't care what
No.
situation they're living in. That's disgusting.
No,
You know.
I think it's
No, no
weird,
one
and
wants
they actually turn people off and like actually like Scott because it's so. But that's
Mhm.
been the fucking thing. It's like where was I getting fucking information from? From Vaughn, from fucking MLH, from Pinche Becky? Like, come on,
Yeah.
and fucking Boss Talk.
Like everybody was too angry. Everybody was too hurt.
Yeah, and that's the
You
thing
know?
too. It's like we have to. I know that people, like particularly in Aaron's camp, think I've been called an unhinged lunatic. I'm a stalker. I'm all these things.
I don't
which,
even know.
which
Hundreds.
I find ironic.
Hundreds, Janet.
I do make all my content about him right now because there's only 3 days left of his trial, and
True.
I am thinking, especially with the
2
last
now.
motion that went through,
2.
I don't think it looks very good for him. But his team, when you're a lawyer for somebody, you gotta be like, oh yeah, we got this. You're fine. Like no lawyers be like, vote today. You are screwed. You are. Shut the fuck up. But his lawyers have also admitted they don't have social media. They don't watch any of the stuff. And if they did,
I mean, they're just doing the job. They're just as lawyers.
yeah, but if I'm a lawyer, here's the deal. We're in 2026 though, Poland. So if you're a 2026 lawyer and you're defending a YouTuber,
I get what you're saying,
you
but
better do
lawyers
some
have
research.
huge caseloads. So
Oh, yeah.
in reality, a lot of the time they just don't have.
Well, they have someone else watching it typically. Like,
Yeah.
Somebody, you got to have one of the interns
Mhm.
doing it, but it appears they don't. Because they
Huh.
just believe everything that he says, and then the next time he comes into court, his lawyer's shown a totally other video, and then the lawyer's like, I didn't see that. Like literally, a quote from his lawyer was like, they say, the state says, oh, we have a video of Aaron running up to the victim, and Aaron's like this. No, you don't. Literally in court.
Aaron's lying
in front of the
to
judge.
them. It's also
Nope.
bad.
And so she's like, I'll approach the bench. So Aaron, all of them go see the video, and sure enough, it's from his channel. Aaron booking down the fucking street like Tom Cruise, right up in the guy's face and screaming at him. And so then the judge is like, Mr. Smith-Levin, you're standing here shaking your head. No, I'm watching a video of you doing the exact thing they said, and your lawyer didn't know anything. And so the lawyer's like, well, we're not
Oh my
asking
gosh.
for that kind of interaction. We're just asking for him to be able to protest. And if I had been, I would have to, I didn't feel like doing an outburst when I was there, but it would be like, man, that's his whole protest. Like, just go watch his videos. That should be the whole trial. Let's just put on the videos, It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's self-incriminating. I mean,
Yep.
Okay, let me just finish though. Okay.
okay.
So then I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and Dio was texting me, so I was like,
Yes,
like,
Dylan.
I just responded like the way I would.
This is exactly true. I never thought there would be so much distraction of people trying to resolve their lives in Scientology. It speaks to a larger problem of many unhealed people. Let's all try to heal together, maybe. Dylan, a hundy pee, chef's kiss, yes. Okay, because this is part of the problem, and I've gone through waves of this to try and figure out how to address this properly, of different emotions about it, right? And the truth of the matter is that we are trauma victims, right? And the way that has formed in our brains is unique to our own body chemistry, and the way that manifests in our CPTSD is also unique to us. But we all have it, right? That's why I used to joke and say that Scientology is the herpes of religions, right? Like, you can leave it, you can get medicated for it, but every once in a while, pop, it's going to pop back up, and it's going to be painful, and it's going to take some time to get over that kind of what's that called, a flare up. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta we do need a healing space, Dylan. We do need a healing space. And I agree with that. Which is partially why I really wanted to understand what had happened here. And I did get a new understanding, right? And I get that, Cal. Yeah, I get that, Cal, that the fighting Scientology has become secondary, and that's part of what I've been dealing with and speaking out about Aaron about, right? And I'll get to that at the end here. All right.
Just like, I'm sorry that happened to you. I hope that doesn't happen to me. If it does, I'll learn. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on the side of giving people as much, opportunity as possible. And then he wrote, what about graping? Did he write graping? But he was like, what about people who are talking about raping your mom? And I was like, just cut to the chase. And I was like, what would you like me to do? And he couldn't say it. He didn't respond for like 8 hours. And by that time, I had changed my phone. Like, I literally got a new phone. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, so I didn't see it until much later, but it didn't matter because, like, what were you going to say to me? What do you want me to do? And then somebody that we know who was in our Discord screenshotted. So DOA, in the meantime, like he had already decided what he was going to do, which was bitch about me. And then the people in my Discord, we can watch it live, but I don't even know if we were watching him like deteriorate on live. He went crazy. And he started calling out the people in our chat, in our Discord, because somebody had taken a screenshot
of your
what
Discord.
he said. Yeah, from my Discord, which was just like, what is going on? DOA, I can't believe this. I gave him thousands of dollars, that kind of stuff.
People were crying. People were
really
devastated.
upset because, like, that's their main community, right? That kind of thing. And so they were devastated.
And see, I don't condone that either. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, this was something I used to be obsessed about, because when the whole birth of SPTV happened, we had several people who started the SPTV fan club Discord. I forget what it was originally called. And then it like within a month, that shit morphed into the anti-Nora, anti-Aaron, anti-anybody that wasn't Mike, Mark, and Claire, and Chris Shelton. Mark and Chris Shelton took over that Discord and were saying so much disgusting stuff about me, about Aaron, and all these things that were like top secret stuff. And we all summarily got kicked out of the Discord multiple times, and all this shit. And at the time I was like, I don't think things like, guys, this is a very naive, stupid thought, but I'm going to say it out loud. At the time, my thought process was, well, those people, that should be illegal. They shouldn't be able to go on Discord and say those slanderous things about me. The truth of the matter is, if it wasn't a Discord, it would be a Snapchat or a Signal group or whatever. And I can't control how people get together to talk about things. Okay. So like, I have to, like, if people are going to gather together and have a coffee clatch about me, I guess that's their prerogative. If that's how they enjoy spending their day, then they can do that. And if people are feeling like this is their community where they talk things out and things like that. I mean, like, for example, guys, I have a chat with my mods and we talk about the show. We talk about content. They tell me about things that I may have missed in the chat, like all of that. But we also, it is like this little microcosm of a community between me and my mod mafia, right? Like, these ladies, I care about them. We have come to, like, talk to each other about the daily struggles we're going through, or like a weird thing that we thought about, or, hey, have you guys seen this fun show? Like, I would feel just as violated if one day one of my mods was like, this cunt can go fuck off, and then started like sharing screenshots. That would feel like a violation. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I'm being vulnerable in there in a way that's not the same vulnerability as here. It's just like, I get that. And then, you can be the opposite side and be like, well, they're shit talking, fuck them. And it's like, well, don't we all shit talk at some point? I mean, I shit talk directly to my television. They can't hear me. I express various emotions about different things to my wife. Should I be thrown in jail because I exercise free speech in my home? I mean, like, where does it end? I think the problem is that when the idea of getting out your ideas or your frustrations or what, is upsetting you turns into a momentum focused on harm, focused on causing someone irreparable harm in some way that is not a criminal, that is, somebody you just dislike, then I don't agree with that. Getting together and talking about someone who's an abuser and sharing stories of that abuse and highlighting their abuse with their own words and actions is not the same thing. That's not shit talk. That's not just like, God, I can't stand that fucking guy, right? This is like literally my intention with talking about Scott or Aaron, is to protect trauma survivors from known abusers. That's it. Okay? Once Scott's trial is over, let's say in a hypothetical universe, he doesn't do any jail time. They cut the fucking thing off, and he's told, I know why he's staying in this trial, because he thinks Scientology is going to give up and that he's going to be able to go protest again. I got news for you, Scott. They have billions of dollars and they will stay at this as long as humanly possible. And if they aren't successful in this criminal prosecution of you, you will be hit with so many civil suits, you will not even know how it's possible for all of that to happen. Okay? You will be in court for the rest of your life. My advice to Scott Hochstetter is make a fucking plea agreement that includes you fucking off out of Southern California. You agree, I'm not going to protest in front of their buildings ever again. Okay, I'm not going to, my focus on my content, it isn't going to be Scientology. Drop this ridiculous lawsuit, which I'll get to in a second, and go on with your life. Go to Mexico, go wherever. I don't give a fuck. Okay? But we don't want you. None, and Aaron's like, she doesn't speak for all survivors. Yeah, I don't speak for Aaron Smith Levin. If he wants Scott's support, he can have it. But I will say, for everybody who isn't Aaron Smith Levin, Cheryl, Eric, fucking Jenna, let's set those guys aside. Okay, if they want Scott's help with this ridiculous grifting lawsuit that's going to do nothing except for fuck all of us over, go ahead. Go to your new grifter leader and get his help. Okay. I think it's ridiculous. But I'm going to say, from a survivor, and for the rest of the survivors who have two brain cells to click together, go away, Scott. We do not want you here. We do not want your help. We do not want anything from you except for to leave us alone. Like, you can't sit with us, okay? You can't sit with us, okay? And literally you trying to shove yourself into this version of advocating for us as victims, now this is literally crossing over the line into harassment of us. Now you're fucking with us. That is not help. That is not advocacy. That is harm. You are harming us. Okay? Yeah, I'll show you the lawsuit. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay. Let's finish.
Seated, and I was just in fucking shock.
Hard stop in a half an hour, guys.
Like what? I just didn't think it was that serious. You can have your opinion, but what he was saying was, I'm going to kick you out of chat if you are in Nina's chat. I need a list of names. Screenshot that shit.
That's the third time he's done that.
He doesn't.
At first it was Aaron's, then it was mine, then it was there's nobody anyone that he's ever interacted with that hasn't eventually been if you're in that person's chat, I'm blocking you. Okay. Oh no, my whole life has ended. But I know a lot of people take that shit really seriously.
Yeah.
Because, they like a lot of people.
Yep.
And that's okay. That's why I say I had a long time where people were like, that person's from Tony's chat. And I'm like, that's not illegal. If somebody's in Tony's chat,
yep,
and then they come in my chat, I said, I only have one rule in my chat. Don't be a dick. And if you're not a dick to me or the other people in the chat, I don't give a shit. And
that's the thing. And so he wanted to do that and they became upset. Then somebody took a fucking screenshot, and that was a good friend of ours, but they ended up on the side of DOA the side. You know what I mean? Because they felt because I told David B to fuck off.
Who hasn't told David B to fuck off?
I mean, that was a deal breaker. And Auntie M, I told her to fuck off.
Okay, I don't know her.
I've
seen her, but I don't know. I've never talked to her. I don't know her.
And so that he did 21 hours of content about me. I didn't say anything. We were just behind there.
21 hours.
David B did. Really upset because I had helped. What?
Who did that?
DOA.
Oh my
did
God.
21 hours of content about how awful I was and how his chatters had betrayed him, calling their name. He posted one of their an area around their address because he had been.
Guys, I don't condone doxing. Okay. I know it has happened in the chat that people have accused me of doxing Cheryl and Aaron. Unfortunately, those are public documents, right? I wasn't on purpose trying to show their addresses on a public website that's a government website with their addresses shown. They didn't ask for that to be blacked out. They can. They didn't make a privacy request. I'm not their fucking mom. If you're part of it, you're part of it. If I had bailed Aaron out of court, guess what? My fucking address would be on there. But I didn't do that. So sometimes you got to take responsibility for your own shit. No, I'm not going to keep showing it because obviously that would show intent that I want people to know their address. That wasn't my intent. But to do something like that, to put a post out there that's like, look at this map. They live somewhere here. That's really fucked up, right? That's really fucked up.
There. He had, okay, but then the last thing that he did that really upset me was this. He sent me a text message that was a Bible verse. Okay, this was a few days later. The day after we did our first live stream back, after this.
This is also true.
The thing was, and Jesus said, let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a
Why
stone
would that be
at her.
shocking, Kelly, that this is her version of events and she's not throwing herself under the bus? But this is all information I didn't have. This is additional information. Okay. But Kelly, if you have a problem with how Sticker Chick is explaining this, go tell her. Like, if you think she's leaving shit out, when she goes live next, you say, hey, I saw your convo with Nora. You left a whole bunch of shit out. You left out A, B, C, D, What about that? Go ask her. I don't fucking know. I'm not her. I don't watch all of her fucking shit. Okay? Like, those are things I can't do anything about.
And I'm like, I don't. Anyway, so I was like, okay, that's really weird. I'm not going to respond because fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, this is what you want. And I don't care. Like, there's nothing at this point you can say to me. And then he said, the thing I was most upset about was that I gave my credibility. I gave him legitimacy. I gave him cover in Washington, D.C. because he would have gotten his ass beat. Okay?
Sure.
Like, for real. Like, I'm not a, like,
no. I mean, like, listen, when people are out there putting their lives on the line protesting, and some new guy shows up and somebody
I did not allow him. No. He wasn't allowed in our group or anything like that. Okay. But because and my friends were like, no, you know what I mean? Like, no, we're not organizing with him or whatever, but you can tell him because
Callie, watch it. Watch the tone here. Okay. It's not on anybody. She asked you a question. That's a legitimate question. How do you know so much about this? Okay. And if you're in the private Discord and you've been watching all her stuff because you got a membership, good for you. But the answer to the question was because I was gifted free memberships and I watched a lot of her content. That's it. All of this other stuff, I see her behavior. If you don't, that's on you. That's your inside voice. Okay. That's your internal monologue. That's the story you're telling yourself. Okay. That's the story you're telling yourself. You don't need to use that story to attack other people. Okay. Just remember, think before you speak and act with kindness. Okay. Let's try that.
Filmed people.
Oh,
right. And my friends, we don't like to be filmed. Yay. Right. I've tried to make streaming work at protests. I don't do it because I don't want to catch your face. And it's not safe. So we would be like, let's at least, because if we're going to be in the same space, right? So we don't, so nothing happens to him. Like, and he's not fucking embarrassed as fuck by being walked out or fucking yelled out. Like, let's do this, right? But nobody wanted to collaborate with him. But I gave him that kind of cover. And then when he was raising or needed money for a lawyer, I'm the one who had the connection to find him a lawyer that was really good for him. Mm-hmm. Then I helped him raise money.
Yeah.
Based on me, my reputation, by K2's reputation.
Yeah.
Like, she's a sedition hunter, anti-J. Like, we used our
So this is K2, apparently. And they reached out to people who do stuff like that. Like, she's identifying J6 people and stuff. I fucking love that. I understand why she doesn't show her face. That's fine with me. But it's like when you get connected with someone and they have clout for whatever reason, for their professional contacts, for their business, whatever. My personal policy on that is to always respect that and don't use it. Okay? There's a reason why I didn't spend years like Aaron did fucking running around with an Emmy that wasn't mine and posters of the show that I was in one episode of and then like just act like I'm the show. Okay? Even though I associate produced the entire second season of that show, I don't sit here and talk about that constantly. Why? Because that was a Leah and Mike thing. And I helped. It wasn't like I'm the whole reason the show came together. No.
Like, I helped the producers, the non-Scientologist producers, understand what the fuck people were talking about because everybody was talking Scientologies. And I helped find references that came up on the screen and the definitions of things. That's what I did. And I'm proud of that work. I'm proud of that work. Okay. So to me, I don't have to brag about that or use Leah's name to get me clicks, to get me views, to get me nothing. And yes, I know I have pissed off Leah Remini because I don't publicly support Mike Rinder. And I have called out Mike Rinder for his actual crimes. And that's her line in the sand with me. And I respect that. Okay. I don't have ill will towards her. I want her to fucking graduate college and become a great lawyer and fucking sue the shit out of everybody. I'm here for it. I applaud it. And I still wish her nothing but the best. She and I have very different views about Mike Rinder, and that's okay. Right? But I still respect the work that she did put in for the Jane Does, because part of the Jane Does getting a case against Danny Masterson was Leah using her fucking clout as a celebrity to go to the fucking police chief's office every fucking day and to go to the mayor's office and to go to the fucking FBI and all these places. Leah did that. She wasn't getting paid to do that. Okay? She did that, and she used her fucking clout to make sure that they weren't going to ignore these women, that they weren't going to listen to Scientology, that literally they were going to take this rapist to trial. Okay? So that's a proper use of clout, in my opinion. And anybody who tries to glom onto anybody else and then be like, oh, I'm the same, fuck you. Okay? You're a clout chasing goblin. Just do your own thing, you know?
Talking reputations, and people listened to us, and they gave him money. A lot of money, you know?
Oh, no, I know. Yeah. It was awesome.
And,
I mean, yeah.
And I don't feel like I did anything to warrant this, especially just talking to more people. Like, what's going on with you, dude? Like, what the fuck? And all we were trying to do was continue to help him, but we also wanted to help other people because the trolling by these anti-ZDT/DOA people is insane. Whoever the fuck HLC is, like, they're suicide fucking trolls. I'm sick of that shit. They're now doing it to me, right? Making fun of every aspect of me. But when I didn't.
So this is the statement that Mina made. And this is a huge part of what everybody got mad about. So please listen and watch.
Like Tony, and he was talking shit about me. Like, they were like, oh, but like, and they're suicide trolls for fucking sure. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But
what does that mean? Is that just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm old. I'm about to turn 50. So what does that mean? That means people who like to troll people until they kill themselves, or like what? They're just they're fatalists.
I think I can explain this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's someone who is trolling someone with the intention of getting them to kill themselves.
Oh, that's okay.
Right. So it's not someone who trolls them and then they happen to kill themselves for whatever reason, whether they had something to do with it or not. It's specifically with the intent.
That's
like,
awful.
What do they want from a portal or patient complaint center, right? And a screenshot
of your Discord.
Yeah.
Activists. These are people who they list themselves on Craigslist and shit, and they get hired to go hold this.
Yeah, and so now my life isn't about DOA. It never has been. I never listened to him. So now I'm fucking listening to him. And this motherfucker doesn't know how to, what blind BCC, CC, and fucking, like, he doesn't know how to forward and reply.
Yeah.
And
no, he just don't think it's like the MLA stuff to me isn't funny.
Gross.
It's not. And she said horrific things about me, and then she'll email me and be like, oh girl, it's girls club, just joking.
Where they think they're fighting. And so he latched onto that. He wasn't even supposed to go do that. What he told me he was going to do was he was going to go and yell at Oreo Express.
It's a total fucking joke. It's for profit. It's not helping anybody except for lying. Sorry. Because, they like a lot of people of taking care of myself. And that's something that I really, 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 and he's not
actually likes that because it's so, but that's
shown a totally other video. And then the lawyer's like,
somebody that we know who was in our Discord screen.
David B did?
Really upset because I had helped. What?
Who did that?
DOA.
Oh my God.
For him. Then I helped him raise money.
Okay, here we go.
Based on me, my reputation, by K2's reputation.
Yeah.
Like, she's a sedition hunter, anti-J. Like, we used our fucking reputations, and people listened to us, and they gave him money. A lot of money, you know?
Oh, I know, yeah. It's awesome. I mean, yeah.
And I don't feel like I did anything to warrant this, especially just talking to more people. Like, what's going on with you, dude? Like, what the fuck? And all we were trying to do was continue to help him, but we also wanted to help other people because the trolling by these anti-ZDT/DOA people is insane. Who the fuck HLC is, like, they're suicide fucking trolls. I'm sick of that shit. They're now doing it to me, right? Making fun of every aspect of me. But when I didn't like Tony and he was talking shit about me, like, they were like, but like, and they're suicide trolls for fucking sure. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But
what does that mean? Is that just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm old. I'm about to turn 50. So what does that mean? That means people who like to troll people until they kill themselves, or like what? Or they're fatalists?
I think
I can explain this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's someone who is trolling someone with the intention of getting them to kill themselves.
Oh, that's okay.
Right? So it's not someone who trolls them and then they happen to kill themselves for whatever
I'll
reason.
make
whether
a
it's
chart,
something to do with it or not.
I'll make
It's specifically with the intent.
That's
like,
awful.
what do they want from Tony? Tony went to mental health treatment, right? Like, when is he going? Like, when is it going to be enough? When, like, so he went to court, right? Like, he's, has punishment. I know people don't like Tony, and that's okay. I don't care. My thing is, like, why are you still trolling him? Now, why are you involving me in being trolled? What, like, the things that they're saying are disgusting about me, right? Like, because they don't, not because they don't like me or what I say, or it's mainly because I'm just not willing to, like, be like, fuck off and die. Like, basically, but what they're doing is organized and like, when do we stop punishing people? That's
for those of you guys who don't know what the 764 group, I didn't comment on this. That is a Discord suicide cult that is targeting children, and I don't. That's not correct. It's just that's very extreme from Tony there. I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's like when I was being bombarded, and I think Tony will take accountability for this, but I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. Okay, so now listen to this part. Because I left the group. I haven't watched Hero Like Cody's stuff in months. I have no idea what he's putting out on the internet, which is what I said earlier. So when I was being bombarded with a lot of stuff from Tony, and I was real shit in the mental shitter, like that account popped up, and I was like, at least there's one person who is like fighting for me, right? And
they're not fighting for you.
No, but that's I know. I understand. I felt like that though. I felt like I had support because at that time, at the beginning, Aaron was like, "Oh, it's funny," and I'm like, "I don't think any of this is funny. Like, it's making me feel really bad about myself." And basically, it was just whatever. And Tony and I went on our whole roller coasters. It was the Oprah, you get a restraining order, you get a restraining order. I went to court and had an MTP. I shaved my head, all the things. And then, Tony went to the mental health facilities, right? And he went through that for a couple months, and he came out and he was like, I'm a different person. I'm taking care of my mental health. And at that point, when the judge dismissed the case, I was like really upset. And then I let it go because it's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go through all that and try to get a restraining order again on Tony when he's over here and he's not talking about me. It's like, I don't have a case, first of all. Second of all, like, at some point, and this is how I feel about jail. And I said this like 50 times in the last 2 weeks. I understand that our industrial jail complex is a total fucking joke. It's for profit. It's not helping anybody except for line pockets of the people who own those facilities. But the concept of, hey, you did some bad shit, you're going to get a societal timeout like they do in other countries like Norway, Sweden, Germany, that like when you go to jail, it's like you have a little apartment, you're just like separated from everybody else, you're doing some projects, you're getting therapy, like I believe in that. Like sometimes people need a timeout and you go work on yourself and then you come back to society as a productive member of society. In our country, we're just exploiting the 13th Amendment to have legalized slavery in this country. And it's fucking disgusting. It's just the caging of humans for no purpose other than profit. And that's called slavery. So I don't believe in that. But like, if, also, if you do crimes, maybe you go to jail. I mean, I don't know. Don't do crimes. It's as simple as that. And I don't mean that for people protesting right now because that's our First Amendment right. And people are stepping all over that to, just round people up who are saying, fuck fascism. And I don't agree with that. I mean, where I live in Portland, we have people who've been out there every night for the last 5 years. And now it's cool. Like that's the joke here in Portland. Oh, you're protesting ICE? Finally? Okay, thanks. Welcome to the party. And we're doing it in Portland style. We got people dressed up in frogs and flottles and the mom sewing circles are out with the knitting and the things. And it's like, it's very Portland. It's very Portland. But somehow they still find a way to shoot people. I don't understand that. Who are literally, they get real mad when they do the fishing pole with the donuts on it and then they reel it back in. That really cracks me up. That is trolling at an epic level in person.
Well, I hope that DOA doesn't end up coming to your town and trying to grip off that shit.
Oh, I'm sure he will. But I will say this: the Portland crowd is very, very territorial, very feral, and they will see him in about 3 seconds, and they will just start pouring the kombucha on him, which will dissolve them.
And that because we are both national and local, and that is what I saved this dumb motherfucker from, and that's why I'm pissed. Right? I'm pissed.
Okay, so what I said there was I don't, and I said this already out loud. I don't agree with anyone who is doing some sort of like gotcha video or whatever, or suicide trolling. I don't agree with anybody who's doing anything like that ever. I don't care who it is. Period. I don't support that. As a, I said earlier, as a suicide attempt survivor, I don't support anyone who, when they are discovering that someone's mental health is like literally going into the shitter and they are crumbling, that they continue saying things. Okay. It's just like, it's nuts. It's nuts. Tony did what Tony did. The court decided what the court decided. All of our feelings about that and our knowingness, our understanding that he said completely insane things about a dream that he had about a child, that's not going to change. I don't agree with that. I don't support him. Support those things. I don't support that. Like I said earlier, for those guys who just got here, I have put a firm boundary between me and Tony. Okay. I have no intentions of partnering up with him. So, cheering him on, nothing. But I also
I also don't wish him harm. Like, if he goes and does another crime, then he's going to have to face the consequences for that, right? Like, that's real talk. We're adults, okay? But the judge made a final decision in that case, in the 26 fucking charges. I don't understand the ruling. I don't understand it. I'll just leave it at that. But did the DA make the deal that they wanted to make, because then it gets that off their docket and they have like billions of other things to deal with? Sure. Okay. I think that at some point we have to be like, enough. Did Tony have justice served against him for everything he did? That's not in the case of me at this point in my life. I can say, okay, because I there's nothing for me to continue this on, right? It doesn't help my personal mental health to bring all that back up again, right? No, I don't approve of that. Shat's page. And here's the deal. I didn't go on here. I went on this panel to ask that specific question of what happened with her and Scott. And then we ended up talking about a few other things. If Tony and Mina did a FOIA request of a 5150 of someone, and then they played that to have a laugh about that, that's exactly the kind of shit that I don't like. Okay? I'm not here to be besties with Mina. I'm also not here to be enemies with Mina. What she does on her channel is her channel. Okay? And I don't have any control over that. That's the total truth. Okay? Oh no, Tony told me to go kill myself multiple times. And that really fucking affected me. And it affected me too that nobody was standing up for me. And then it like affected me more, Shell, I'll be honest with you, when people in the Hero Like Cody, all of the different versions of Reddit started telling me that I'm the problem, right? And started coming at me. You didn't do that specifically. You were very kind to me in there. I'm not talking about you, but there was a lot of other people, and I have the screenshots again. But for me personally, okay, I cannot speak for Solomon. I don't know him. I've never met him. Okay. I am moving forward with my life. It appears, and I don't watch Tony, but it appears that Tony is not continuing the behavior towards me particularly that he had been doing. I don't know about behavior towards anyone else. Okay. I have no clue. If he is continuing the same behavior that got him 26 charges against Solomon, then that's a problem for him, because that's against the terms of his case, right? And he should literally, find consequences for that, okay? I am never for somebody not facing consequences for their actions, which is why we're focused on Aaron and Scott, okay? Is going to a mental health facility for a couple months a consequence? I think so in some cases, because in some cases when someone is mentally ill and they're like full out, single white female focused on people and they can't stop saying nonsense, then yes, they need mental health help. You know what I'm saying? Beachcomber, Tony said, I don't know a member of my family Tony didn't talk about. Okay. There wasn't one. Okay. None of you have to forgive Tony. None of you have to move on from it. You are all free to do whatever you want in relationship to that. I can only do what I'm doing for myself. Okay. Because of my own mental health and protecting my own mental health. That is only what I can do. If you guys are still having like big feelings about it, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but you're like, it's overwhelming feelings, I honestly suggest
please go get therapy. That's what I've been doing. Start journaling. I have been journaling, and that has been a game changer for me, to just get my thoughts out so that I'm not mulling them over constantly. Okay. Because that's something I was doing. And if you do have a legal case, okay, where there is something actionable that, needs to stop or whatever, go do the legal things that you can do. Okay. Go do the legal things that you can do and do that. Okay. I did. Yes. Princess, I got the answer to my question. We'll finish this up. Holy cow.
This because my credit, and I mean, when I came back a week later, it was just like, I'm going to say this and that this is it. And and so now my life isn't about DOA. It never has been. I never listened to him. So now I'm fucking listening to him. And this motherfucker doesn't know what blind BCC, CC, and fucking, he doesn't know how to forward and reply.
Yeah.
And he started this new grift store. Let me get this out. Go for it. This motherfucker is a fucking grifter. Okay, so he's got this case, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting a lot of people out with money. So you know what he's doing? Okay, because he's gonna have to either get a plea deal or he's gonna have to go to court, and do a trial or whatever. And so, but he's downplaying what this case is now, right? He's like, I'm on to the next one. I have this big Scientology case, federal case. I'm gonna get everyone. And this is the biggest case. This is what we need to put all our resources to. This is it. Okay. Do you know who the Brunson brothers are?
No.
The Brunson brothers are a couple brothers. They were musicians or whatever, right? And the Brunson brothers had these fake not fake. They filed these election fraud lawsuits. 2 of them. DOA was at some of the protests with me because the MAGA people were like, this is it. And they raised $50,000, off of these things. And they got people to show up at court and do all these things, right?
I never heard of these
they took it to court. They were denied at every fucking turn. And then eventually, not because they had merit, but because you can do something to blast through to get it not heard by the Supreme Court, but let them decide if they're going to hear it or not, which they didn't. But the point is, that's his next grift, right? And the thing is, I'm just going to talk about lolcows, and you're one of them. And I'm never going to ever use my own credibility to, prop up some dickhead ever, never.
Yeah, and let me just say this: I get why you feel burnt on that, 100%. But I still think you did a good thing on not letting a complete moron get murdered in the middle of DC, because I think that would have weighed on you in the same way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no one would have got murdered, but
not literally, guys. But you know what I mean? I think that overall, when you're trying to be part, or not even be part of something, because it's just you give a shit about democracy and you give a shit about the justice system really being used correctly. People like Scott really fuck it up, because he is the example where people.
I know,
go
Diana, but
oh,
the
welfare system's bad because all the people on it are just
indicate
sucking off the teat. They're just taking my stuff, and it's
on
there's a lot of people
Twitter
who are on
and
welfare
shit,
because they
so
genuinely
that's
need it, and then they get off of it, and then they
It's
still go back on it.
Everything
And the
gets
percentage of people that are just
twisted
fucking
at some
scamming on it
point.
is actually not that high. But those are the people that we focus on. And so when we see people like Scott online, that it just always has a new thing, and there's literally, oh God, Scott has a GoFundMe, of course he does, and there's always a new thing. Then when people who genuinely need help for something, right? Oh, everyone's like, oh, you're a grifter, and that makes me sad too, because I mean, when Alex Preddy got shot, I've never met Alex Preddy. I don't know anything about him. I gave money to his GoFundMe because I was like, this guy's
very true.
And
I put it up on my YouTubes.
How do you not and he was trying to help the woman that got shoved down. I mean, it's yeah, I'm giving some money to that guy. That's not a grift, and his family doesn't have him anymore. I mean, it's the whole thing.
Not everybody's a grifter.
No.
I'm not trying to say that at all. Again, what I said was, DOA's a lazy motherfucker. Okay, basically you're paying for him to
get his toes down.
Be a lazy motherfucker. Okay,
and wash himself in hot tubs.
Stop paying for fucking people's vacations and shit. If you're giving content.
The rest of this is just us talking about DOA, and I only have a few minutes left, so I'm gonna take this off. Okay, so the big Scientology suit isn't filed, but he has a suit against the city of Los Angeles filed. He has a suit. All you have to do is Google Scott Hochstetter. This is how I got this. Is the court listener. It lists his whole fucking complaint, all of the motions that he's put in, all of this documents. This is his big gotcha. Okay. He also has a case against Anthony in there. And now he's going to submit his one against Aaron. And but he has to space them out, guys, so he doesn't get designated a vexatious litigant, But the latest scam is that he's the one that's going to bring Scientology down, which is why I put what I put in the post. Now he's just raising money. He's got to get a better investigator, and he's got to, do all these things. And he's the one that's going to crack Scientology, guys. Not any of the survivors, not David Miscavige being listed in a fucking case. Scott Hochstetter. He's a professional fucking grifter. Okay. He's literally a professional fucking grifter, guys, who has gone from town to town, state to state to grift, and destroy his way through micro movements throughout the country. Okay. No, I don't think it's about that. I haven't read all that. Whatever Scott's doing against the LAPD, good luck. Whatever with your ChatGPT fucking court case. Okay. I wanted to show that conversation just so we could clear a couple things up. I have thanked Cody in many, many ways. I have never been ungrateful for the support that that particular person or group or whatever it is showed me during one of the darkest times in my life. And I am grateful for that. I will never not be grateful for that. I don't condone people relentlessly attacking people in a way that makes them feel like they should, the solution is for them to kill themselves. If, and Fire Truck was one of those people. If that is Poland, then I didn't know that that's who he was. I didn't know, because these are things I had to let go. So, like, am I interested in going on more panels with Poland? No, because that's a boundary for me. That's a boundary for me, right? What I am interested in, guys, is we have to really focus, and this is why, if you look at all of the videos I produced in the last year, 95% of it, and I say 5% is me joking and like having a little fun, 95% of it is me showing Aaron Smith Levins, and occasionally has Ben Scott, but definitely pretty much all Aaron Smith Levins, words and actions that show that he is not about helping anyone, that he is about his own profit, his own clout, his own, success, and he's not here to help anyone. And that's a danger to vulnerable people, including myself, who are still like fucking recovering from trauma. Okay. Yeah. And some people are saying that he is and he isn't. I mean, guys, like I said, I don't know. If that is the case, if Poland is Fire Truck, then that's definitely somebody I don't want in my life in any way, shape, or form. And there really wouldn't be an occasion for that to happen. Right? Yeah. Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, grifting is a demeaning term. We are all getting through life the way we know. If someone gives you the ick, then move on and search for people who you resonate with. Depart with love and acceptance. Boom. And how I ended that conversation last night, I felt like I understood more stuff, and I felt like, like I'm not. Also, I felt like, oh, I'm not the only one whose first impression of Scott was, uh-oh, hot dog, this guy's not a good person, right? So, sometimes that's good to know, because the way Scott presented his relationship with Mina, aka Sticker Chick, to everybody else was like, oh, they're besties. They go way back. Like, she's got his back. Like, nobody's going to mess with him because he's just connected to the chairman of Antifa. And of course, I should have known that that was all bullshit. I should have known that, like, everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is fucking Delulu Central, because that's who he is, and he's surrounded right now with a tiny harem of sycophants, who are propping him up with narcissistic supply and donations, and good luck to them. Good luck. His life is not going to be good, even if he doesn't go to jail here. He's going to go on to the next place, and one day he's going to get really hurt. One day it's going to be bad news bears for him, because he's going to fuck with the wrong people, right? And that's on him. That's not going to be on us. That's not going to be on anybody else but Scott Hochstetter, right? Aaron Smith Levin, however, is running a much bigger cult that involves constantly darvoing trauma survivors and using them as human meat shields to do his evil deeds and his bidding, to raise his clout and things. And the fact that he is the person, because of this apparent size of his channel and everything, that he becomes the resource that media outlets and other large channels go to for information about Scientology, about the Scientology experience, that is dangerous, because he's only getting worse. He's only doing more bad things. He's only harming more people. It hasn't gotten less. He hasn't learned a lesson, right? He hasn't changed. He hasn't done any of those things. And again, just like the state's attorney said in his in her statement, in the last statement, is that like she's concerned that this is going to end, and even the judge voiced it, that she's concerned that this is going to end up in someone dead. And unfortunately, the pattern of behavior that Aaron is showing, that could happen. That's a possibility, right? So this is literally a public service announcement, because let's say worst case scenario, somebody does die or get severely injured during one of these protests that Aaron is doing. How does that look for the rest of the world, that the biggest channel, the head of a charity, all of this bullshit, just did XYZ, and the injuries or death is partially responsible. He's partially responsible for that somehow in this hypothetical scenario. How does that help anybody else who's like, hey, fucking Scientology ruined my life? People are going to be like, well, you guys might be dangerous. You guys might, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Right? No one's going to listen to us, because we will all be judged. Unfortunately, this is how these things go. We will all be judged, okay, by that person who is a de facto, not elected by us, not approved, a de facto representative of us. And I say, no, thank you. Right? So when I'm trying to get him, yeah, I saw that Jakku, that he's like, I'm going right back over there to do exactly what I was doing. Like, he hasn't changed. He has no desire to change. He literally wants to keep doing all of the same shit. I'm sure. Guys, do you know how many bags of the chalk he got donated? It's still on his wish list. He has tons of them. That's what he said. Don't anybody send me anywhere bags of chalk. We have enough of that. I want the really expensive spray chalk, you know. That's what he said after he got arrested. That he had plenty of the other stuff, you know. So, yeah. That is just, that's just reality. Okay. And that's why we're going to keep doing it. Okay. We have 2 days. 2 days, guys, until Aaron's trial. We'll see if he takes a plea deal or not. My feeling on that is that the state's attorney and the victim, because any plea agreement has to be like gone over with the victim. The victim in this case is John Gaffney, who is he's a fake Space Navy member. And whether I like it or not, and I do not like it, Scientology is a recognized religion in this country. So they have protection under the Constitution to do the harmful acts that they do, because somebody somewhere said, okay, religion. And I'm really, really working on trying to get that taken away, because if they do not have that cloak of religion to hide under anymore, all of their crimes can way more easily be prosecuted. That's just my personal opinion, but okay. The fact that Aaron, God, I lost my whole train of thought, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hang on. Let me just do this thing, because I'm trying to pull up a map to see how long it's going to take me to get to the airport to make sure I'm not, okay. I do have to go. Yeah. It just has to be handled. Aaron has to be handled. He has. That's what I was saying. If Aaron takes a plea deal, that has to be consulted with the victim, John Gaffney, and John Gaffney, okay, aka Scientology, is not going to agree to a plea deal that allows Aaron Smith Levin to stand back in front of that building and potentially harm him again. The only plea deal that will be available to Aaron, in my personal, very professional legal opinion, that he won't agree to, is for him to no longer protest at their locations. Permanent ban from being on their property. Lifetime ban. Like, people can get lifetime bans from fucking baseball parks. Okay. Aaron Smith Levin will be presented with a lifetime ban and probably restitution for the medical bills and some sort of parole. Okay. Aaron's not going to agree to that. in my mind, there is a 0% chance that Aaron Smith Levin agrees to never to a permanent ban from sign. He's going to tell his lawyers, fuck no, we're going to trial, baby. You ready to party, baby? You ready to party with me at trial? That's going to be his view, because he honestly thinks that 6 non-Scientologists are going to look at the evidence of what he did and said and go, yeah, that's fine. Scientology, bad. Aaron, like, that's not going to happen. So if he's smart, which I don't think that he is, he would take a plea agreement like that. Be like, guess what, guys? I done fucked up. I got a permanent ban. And then he could like ride the cloud on that. Look at me. I'm so powerful. Permanent ban. Nope. He won't do that. He won't do that. Okay. He's going to take it all the way. And because of that, I think that the prosecution will push it even further and prove beyond any reasonable doubt that this was in fact a targeted hate crime, because Scientology is classified as a religion, and he'll be going to jail for a long fucking time, because that will be a penalty. You know, that's what I think. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Guys, if you have a lot of other like questions, reactions, and I do apologize for not being able to like get to all the questions that were out there. I did answer a couple of them. Please email me, okay? And I will do my best to email everybody back. But I am eternally appreciative of everybody who came in here and asked questions and discussed with each other. And like literally, let's not talk meanly to each other. Let's try today. It's Sunday. Let's try to respect each other and try to really listen. And if you don't agree with something, just try saying, okay, I heard what you said. I'll think about that some more. And then let it go. Because maybe you're not going to change someone's opinion. Okay? And this chat will never be somewhere where you can come and just fucking barf your hate and nonsense all over somebody. Never, never, never. Okay? Because that's not what my channel is about. Okay? And for all the people who don't understand what a raging Buddha is, go find out in the Buddhist community, because it's not people are like, she's against Buddhism. Like, actually, I've been practicing Buddhism for almost a decade now after leaving Scientology. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about, but it's okay. Don't mind me. But let's all just try and like listen and learn a little bit, because that's what I did in that conversation. I learned some things, and it doesn't mean that now I'm like the number one, I'm buying a membership to Mina's or something. It's just like, now I know stuff, and that's it. It's as simple as that. I really want everybody to have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff. I am gonna put that the members only live probably a Tuesday at like midnight. So it'll be like really early Tuesday morning. So if you're somewhere else in the world, that'll be first thing. And then of course, we'll be doing kind of a long live stream that day to see what we can hear. And again, if there's anybody in Clearwater that can go to the courthouse starting at 8:30 in the fucking morning while they're doing jury selection, and I can give you whatever compensation you're asking from me. I mean, within a reasonable limit, because I'm poor, but like, I'm willing to do that, just to sit there and take notes. I'm not asking for you to confront anybody. I specifically don't confront anybody. Don't get in anybody's face. None of that. I just would love somebody there to take notes, because it takes weeks to get the transcripts. So if anybody can do that, please let me know. And let's work it out, because I just really would love a fly on the wall. I think that Dodge is going to be there. I don't know. So I can't, count on that. But jury selection starts at 8:30, Bunny Fufu, and then the trial part is supposed to start at 10:30, but who knows? But anybody in Clearwater, please reach out to me. I would really appreciate it. I just want to know
what really happened. Because no matter what happens, I'm going to believe like 2% of what Aaron and Cheryl and Eric say, because they're all very emotional about it. And when you're super emotional, from personal experience, sometimes your perception of what's happening gets clouded with that emotion. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this impromptu Sunday. I super appreciate you. If you guys could do me a favor and go over to Style 1A's channel, they were having an anniversary of the Chicago protests over there, and I totally steamrolled over their fucking thing. If you guys could go over there and show them some love and give their stream a like and watch it, I would be forever grateful because they did great work out there in Chicago. Thank you to the members. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the replay viewers. As always, thank you. I love you, my Mod Mafia. The store hasn't changed the stuff yet, even though it's March 1st, because I didn't get around to that last night. So please, last day. And then I'm taking it down after I go pick up my wife at the airport. And as always, I will see you all on the Flippity Dippity.
Lincoln 30 to dispatch. Yeah, that's a wild goose chase over here at Nakatomi Plaza. Everything here's okay. Over. Let it snow, let it snow, let it... everything is okay! Welcome to the party, pal!
I'm not ready to make